There are numerous literary works enumerating processes, rituals, and disciplines for something classified as spiritual evolution. There are also many who provide spiritual treatments to heal or to place the being on what they themselves classify as the right path. For the being, however, the compassion of the being itself manifests in establishing the limits of permission to this subservience. What seems, then, to be submission, is more a form of communion of one's own beings, placing fertilizers and moisture on somewhat arid land. The one who is endowed with the power to seduce is struck by the innocence and purity of the one he wants to reach. This is a mechanism that brings an apparent sacrifice, yet it is as brilliant in its execution as the brilliance and strength of the one who offers himself to this purpose. The attention of the being will demonstrate the dangers of maneuvers on the sacred. A cautious look at the sleights of hand, pyrotechnics, and performances of these false spiritualists is of fundamental importance in distancing oneself from these burlesque scenes that only weaken, deceive, and imprison the being. This cautious look rescues, strengthens, and gives real value to the being's self-confidence. The book is prodigious in valuing the being as the extreme point of an undying unity. It is from the secure and emphatic guidance of a loving and passionless book that the being sees itself this way, for the search is continuous from the being that is the bearer of its own immortal essence. If it were too obvious to discover the essence, there would be no book, nor the counterpoint so skillfully constructed. In the weaving of these fabrics, the same skill inserts messages, sometimes clear, sometimes not, so that the being is at all times observing its grandeur. The being will not read stories, it will read itself, which will lead it back to the exact point in the layer where it is, of the greatest condition of perception. It can be said that the being will always be drawn to the center of each layer in which it finds itself.